hate to do this kind of question, but talk about his next fight. What do you think about his opponent?
Well, look, he's fighting a tough guy. He's fighting Errol Spence. That's a tough opponent. You know, but when you're at that level, all the guys you're going to fight are tough. Right? You're talking about, Manny Pacquiao, Ruslan Provodnikov, Amir Khan, Eric Bone in the last fight. These are all tough fights. And when you reach a certain level, that's what you're looking for, because you want to, number one, make money.
Right.
Number two, stay in the spotlight. Number three, look what he's getting. Here you have an individual who's got a medical background. He's got degrees, college degree, master's degree, and he speaks very well. Now put him on NBC. Let the whole country see him on free television on NBC. It's a big thing for him, from a fight perspective, but also outside the ring, for things he could do in his future. So it's a great opportunity for him in that regard. And when all is said and done, the only way you can be a main event on NBC is to fight somebody like Spence.
How easy was that fight to put together? And was there a plan B for him if Errol Spence didn't come through?
I mean, there's always plan B. There's always things you work on.
Okay.
That's the nature of the game. And how easy something is, it's always relative. Okay? Is it easy? Is it hard? Listen, until a fight takes place, the fight is not done. Right? Even if you have contracts signed, you have deals done, getting those contracts signed is one thing, which you say easy or not easy. And then the thing is the fight taking place itself. And many times things occur. So what I'll say is that every fight is hard to make and every fight's easy to make.
How difficult of a fight, not to make, but how difficult of a fight is Errol Spence for Chris Algieri?
It's a tough fight.
Yeah.
Like I said, anybody on that level is going to be tough. Errol Spence is a very, very experienced amateur. He's got a great pedigree. He's got good hand speed, good power. He's a good fighter. By the flip side, I think Chris is the same thing. And Chris is probably an underrated fighter. And I think that he can surprise him. And he also has one thing under his belt now, Chris has, that he hasn't had. That's experience. Now he's got real experience. He's been there. And that's a key factor.
And he's been adding to his game and changing up his style a little bit under John David Jackson.
Yeah, I think John's done a great job with Chris. Chris has done a great job learning with him. And Chris really learned the whole boxing business in the pros. He didn't have an amateur background. He learned straight up at the Paramount, developed and learned and worked hard.
Kickboxing helped too.
Kickboxing helped. But, he's one of the few guys that have been able to make the transition from kickboxing to boxing.
Yes, very few.
Few people can do that. And he's been able to do it. And I think that he certainly now has that real boxing experience under his belt. When you're talking about going 12 rounds with Manny Pacquiao, going 12 rounds with Ruslan Provodnikov after getting dropped twice in the first round, going with Amir Khan, in that kind of fight that he had with Amir Khan. Bone fight just now, another 10 rounds at the Barclays Center. That's real experience that he's got under his belt. And that's one thing that Spence really doesn't have in the pros. But Spence is a phenomenal amateur. And typically when you have a great amateur background, usually it carries over to the pros.